So today before we start and commence the meeting and have a wonderful meeting, because the teams that we have more than 3 speakers who are going to attend, I would like each and every one of you to just switch off your mobile phones in order to not interrupt the speakers, and therefore we can listen to their beautiful voices. So none other than else, I would like to share the objectives of the Toastmasters vision, which is in the group, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm not able to see it in the group. In the best. Did they send it by any chance? Because I'm not able to see it. If it
What
was
do you mean, Mahmoud?
What do you mean, Malik?
What do you mean, Mahmoud?
I meant the agenda. Oh,
The agenda,
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, please excuse me. Yes, sorry, please excuse me. I didn't pay attention to that. So our club mission and Toastmasters mission, what is it? And of course, what do we stand by on every meeting that we commence to? Which we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth, which of course each and every one of us does have, and of course to self-improve, because this is why we are in Toastmasters. We're here to self-improve and also to become the leaders of tomorrow. And we have none other than the leader himself of today's Toastmaster meeting and the leader of every Toastmaster meeting. Please welcome to me on the stage, President of Toastmaster Best, Ali Sibtain.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mahmoud, for that wonderful and energetic introduction. As I always say, this is the energy that we need when we begin our meeting. So thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear guests, Toastmasters family members, a very warm good afternoon to everybody. I hereby, as a president of Bahrain Elite Speaker Toastmaster Club, would like to call upon meeting number 174 to order. Allow me to ask our VP Education, before we begin, if we can adopt the agenda for today's meeting.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Actually, I have seen the members, they didn't attend yet. Some of them, they didn't attend yet. So we still have the guest speaker, Abdurrahman, he's not here yet. So I think, but for the role players, they are all here, except the Toastmaster Sarada, which he told me that he will not attend the meeting. So I suggest if any of volunteers would take this role, or maybe the new members or the guests.
If they are aware, yes, but otherwise.
Otherwise, yes, I can take it. Or
we have DTM Jahangir Khan raising his hand.
Yes.
Madam VP Education, as of my information, one speaker has backed out, correct?
Yes.
If we can use the evaluator of that speaker to be the timer, I believe we are missing out on timer, correct?
Yeah, sure. Toastmaster Claire, yeah. Is she here? I think she's not here yet. Or no, she's here. She's here.
Toastmaster Claire is a guest. So if we guest evaluator, if one of our member can be the timer, that would be nice.
If that's the case, I'd like to take up the role of both our counters and the timer. It's gonna be a bit challenging, but let's try to do it.
Counter, so you will be the counter and the timer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can be a timer if so one speaker drop. Is it the speaker for our guest evaluator, Toastmaster Claire, or?
Yeah, no. Toastmaster Ahmed Haji backed out. He will not do his speech. So if you want to be a timer, I can keep Toastmaster Claire as a guest evaluator.
Yes, I think that would be I think that would be excellent, since we have our guest as evaluator from the start. If she doesn't mind, Toastmaster Claire, if you will continue with a different speaker as an ISIS icebreaker speech if you would like to be the evaluator, and I can take the timer.
That sounds
So
good.
Yeah, that's better. So I would like to ask you, Mr. President, if we keep Toastmaster Claire guest as a speaker evaluator for Toastmaster AD, which is the guest speaker.
Of course, go ahead. And let's have Dr. Thuraiga as our timer. And thank you very much, Doctor, for bringing up the suggestion. It seems to be working fine for today's meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any other changes to be noticed? VP Education?
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. So can I have a motion raised so we can adopt the agenda today?
Mr. President, I raise a motion to accept the agenda with this, with one change, which is for the evaluator and a timer.
2 changes. Thank you very much,
Two
Doctor.
changes, yes, please, yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else to second the motion, please?
I second the motion, Mr. President, for adopting the agenda.
Thank you, Toastmaster Colin. And I believe you yourself have noted down the changes. So thank you.
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Today's meeting seems to be very colorful. We have a lot of guests all over the world, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, but it looks very colorful today. So can I ask, starting from the screen on top left, to start introducing yourself? Mr. Eddie, the stage is yours, so please introduce yourself.
Hi, good evening. I am Eddie Garbosa Jr. I'm from the Philippines, and I'm presently connected. I'm a member of CDO Central Toastmasters Club. And it's a wonderful thing to be here. I never thought that I'll be part of this and I'll be delivering my first speech after a 4-year hiatus. I mean, I've never been 3 years a member since 2013, 2014, and then I stopped being a member in 2017, and then I came back just this year. And I'm so excited to deliver my speech, but it's just that I did not expect I'll be speaking for the first time after 4 years in this way and in your Toastmasters Club. So pleasure is mine to see you here in Zoom meeting.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Eddie. You're more than welcome to join us for our today's meeting. Thank you so much. Happy to have you on board. And let's move on to Ms. Sobia. Hi, would you like to introduce yourself? If you can unmute yourself, Sobia. Thank you.
Can you hear me right now?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Sobia Fatma Hamidi. Basically, I'm from Pakistan, but I've been residing in Bahrain. It's been 6 years now. So I'm a computer engineer by qualification, but currently I'm not doing any job. So I'm a housewife, unpaid, 24/7. So that's the thing. And the reason for joining Toastmaster International is that I've always been interested in public speaking and motivational speaking. I've been following Umair Jalwala from Karachi, and basically I'm from Karachi. So there I have also did some activities with the School of Leadership as well. So I always wanted a forum to, just to test my skills, just to see if I can do it. I've always been interested in public speaking. So here I am to try my luck at it. So hopefully it will work.
Perfect, Sobia. Thank you so much for your kind words as well. Moving on, and you're more than welcome, Sobia. Thank you very much. And we have Ala here as well.
Sorry?
Please. Sorry, I'm just moving on to the next guest. Thank you very much, Sobia. So happy
Thank
to have you.
you.
Let's move on to our next guest, Ala. Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Sorry.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Sorry. It's because it's first time for me to join in Zoom, so I don't know how to use it perfectly.
It's all right.
Yeah. I will present myself. My name is Ala, and I work in real estate. I joined for Toastmaster to improve my language, try to develop my conversation, and also I'm just starting to doing my master in Bahrain University. So I hope to be better for conversation with you, learning from you and from the others.
That's great, Ella. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Welcome
thank
on
you.
board. So happy to have you
Thank
with
you.
us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will just move forward towards our guest, Rakesh. Hi, Rakesh. Would you like to introduce yourself to our club?
Yeah, sure. Very first and foremost, hi, good morning, good afternoon to everyone from which all countries we all have joined, but I believe majority of them are from the Bahrain. So if that's the case, welcome to all. Rather, it's good evening to all. Sorry. Okay. So I have joined a very first and foremost, I'm very new in Bahrain. When I say very new, it's almost less than a year. And I have a good amount of time to utilize it better. And I came to know across this Toastmaster, and that's where I thought, why not to join? So myself, Rakesh Vishwakarma, my origin is India, and I am an electrical engineer. And my whole purpose is to socialize, to improve myself, and to be more expressive in terms of personal development skills. So that's where I'm trying to explore myself and to be part of this team and the group, which will certainly help in way or other to improve myself.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rakesh. Welcome to Bahrain Lead Speakers Toastmasters. I would like to move on to our guest, Claire. Toastmaster Claire, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon. Good day, fellow Toastmasters and friends. I am Claire, or you can call me by my nickname, Clay. I am from CDO Central Toastmasters Club, together with Toastmaster Eddie, here in District 75, Philippines, Division F. I am currently a dual member of CDO Central and McCullough Bay Toastmasters Club. And I am currently working in a COVID facility. That's why you can see me wearing a mask. My apologies because I could not reveal my face for a long time. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster or
Ali.
Toastmaster TV.
Ali, thank you very much, Toastmaster Claire. So happy to have a frontliner with our team as well today. And most probably we'll be doing a double hatting today, working in the COVID facility and doing evaluation. So kudos, thank you very much. So happy to have you on board with us. And last but not least, can we ask John Kevin to introduce himself?
Hello, good afternoon. This is actually my first time to join an international club, so I don't really know what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying things out. So allow me to introduce myself. My complete name is John Kevin C. Kubita. I'm 31 years old. I have been here in Bahrain for roughly 4 years now. And I happen to be a teacher. I hail from the Philippines. And yeah, I'm just really curious about this club. Side story, I was just watching one TED Talk video, and then I told my friend that I'm quite interested about, speaking in front of so many people, just like how speakers, how TED Talk speakers do their talks, like their pep talks. And that friend happened to tell me that it's better to join Toastmasters. So here I am.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We have a noble profession, a teacher among us as well. John, you're more than welcome in our club as well. Thank you so much, and hope you all have a wonderful meeting with us. Thank you so much. Very laughable personality. I like this about you. I believe you're a very optimistic and positive person, John. So happy to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope this is it with all the guest introduction. Allow me to move forward with our today's meeting and the agenda. Now comes the time to call the business session to order. May I quickly ask our secretary, Mr. Secretary, Toastmaster Colin, do we have the quorum? Can we proceed with our today's business session?
Sure. Very good evening, Toastmaster Ali. Unfortunately, we do not have quorum as of yet. We do have 10 members attending of the 21. So that is a little less than the 50% required. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Toastmaster Colin. As such, we would not be able to hold any votings or take decisions on any item of discussion in our business session. So I would just like to ask if there was any old business that we just have to touch base again on, if anyone would like to talk about of any old business. Going once, going twice, and the floor is closed. I would just like to pass on information because we do have some of our members here and some guests. Of course, I'd like to let you know that with quite some hard work of our founder member, DTM Jahangir Khan, we have managed to secure a place in Fraser Suites. As we remember, we used to meet in Fraser Suites. So now, with the help and efforts of DTM Jahangir Khan, we have secured a place in Fraser Suites, but this time it's going to be in SEAF, not in diplomatic area. So we will kickstart our physical meeting from October. So just like to pass on this information and thank you very much, DTM Jahangir, for doing this. It's a great opportunity for us, and I have been waiting for this physical meetings to start happening again. Thankfully, with the blessings of God, the situation in Bahrain is very much okay. Facility has been checked thoroughly by DTM Jahangir. It's very much, I would say, controlled area, let's say. So we all would be able to conduct a physical meeting. So thank you very much. And having said that, I just have to pass on this information to you as well, that given the situation that we'll be having physical meetings, so the payment method would be changing a little bit, but we will definitely be communicating with you once we finalize how the financials are going to work out. So we'll let you know in the group as well, or perhaps individually as well. So I just wanted to pass on this information. So thank you very much. As such, I would like to close the business session.
Before that,
yes, please.
Yeah, we
I
have
got my VP Education and DTM Jahangir as well who would like to speak. Please, the floor is yours, VP Education. Ladies first.
Before that, before we close the business session, I would like to tell you all that Mahmoud Al-Murdi has completed his level 5 in the pathway number 1, which is, we can give him a round of applause, all of us, for their big achievements. And also, the club has achieved 4 out of 10 DCP points for the club in 2.5 months, which is a very proud thing to say. Also, Mahmoud Al-Murdi completed level 4 in 2 months and have achieved Triple Crown Award from the District 20. And before I end my thing to say, I would like to say to all of you that area contest dates are announced. So it will be on 11th of February 2022. So we can have club contests in November and December. Members, kindly let me know by the end of this month which categories you want to compete in. So please text me in WhatsApp to record your names and put in which category you want to compete. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much, VP Education, Toastmaster Roya. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I was able to discuss this as well. I forgot this topic of discussion, which is the upcoming area contest. So please step up, show your enthusiasm, show your interest to us, to our XCOM members, especially our VP Education. If you'd like to take part in any of the contests, please let us know. And for the members who are joining us and who are interested in this, to know what the contests are, please let us know so we can also brief to you separately. You can contact us or whoever you're in touch with one of our members of Toastmasters, you can definitely ask and we can give you a brief. Thank you very much, Toastmaster once again. And congratulations, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Words are not enough to tell you how proud we are of you. Again, just like Toastmaster Suhail for being as a baby of the team, of the family, you've been achieving great heights. So thank you very much. Big up, more power to you. Keep on achieving more. With this, I'd like to ask DTM Jahangir, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Still good afternoon to one and all. So I just wanted to touch base on what our president has already mentioned about we moving to our physical venue, the new one, which is going to be Fraser Suites in SEAF. However, this time we'll be having some guidelines to follow. I have already sent a message with the help of the VP membership, Toastmasters Suhail Sheikh, and we have taken the consent of all the members. Only 2 members have requested to have a hybrid meeting. So for that, we will be arranging for that. However, we will observe the situation for the next couple of months, at least for a month or 2. If things remain good, inshallah, we really hope and pray. If things remain good, we will be going all physical, because already all the clubs in Kuwait, in our district 20, they have started to move to the physical meeting. So we should be taking that lead as well. With that being said, going forward, as mentioned, from October onwards, we will be having our physical meetings, hybrid for now. 2nd and 4th Saturday we meet. However, before the meeting, this is for the VP membership, 3 days prior to that, we have to take the registration of how many people will be attending. That list has to be updated with the hotel management, and we will be allowed with 20 people to be attending. So we have to make sure that we have the 20 people along with the members and the guests. If we exceed 20, then we have to do another arrangement looking into the COVID guidelines which are there from the hotel. So this is something for the VP membership. So please make sure that we will be having a registration. All of those who would wish to attend physical meeting should be vaccinated. That's the first and the most important condition of the hotel. Thank you, Mr. President. Back to you.
Thank you very much, DT and Jangir. Points very well noted. And yes, we will be definitely communicating again individually as well if required with our family. Thank you very much. I can see that we have another guest joining us. Wafa, hi. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, hi. Do you listen to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, everyone. I am Wafa Atta. I am almost 20 years old. I study mathematics at the University of Bahrain. Many people advised me to join the Toastmasters Club, and I hope to know everything about the club. There are several questions I have, like approximately how long does it take for me to prepare for a Toastmasters meeting? Number 1. Number 2 questions. Are there points for those who don't miss the meeting? And number 3 question, what is my job as a beginner?
Okay, perfect. I will just, sorry, Suhail. I would just like to say here that we have our member here, Wafa. His name is Toastmaster Suhail, who would be really happy and obliged to answer all your questions. I'm going to ask Toastmaster Suhail to please take this up on chat with Wafa separately, perhaps, so we can answer all her questions. And I sense here teacher-student going on in our meeting, and very glad of this, Dr. Thuraiya. Thank you very much. So please, Toastmaster Suhail is going to take this up, and he's going to be answering all your questions. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank
so happy
you
to
so
have you
much.
here. Welcome. Enjoy the meeting. Enjoy the meeting. Thank you very much.
Inshallah.
Thank you. And with this, may I ask someone to please raise a motion so we can close the business session?
Mr. President, I raise the.
Sorry, Toastmasters here.
Sorry, Mahmood, go ahead.
Mr. President, I hereby present the motion for the. I'm hereby to adopt the business session. Sorry.
There's the motion to close the business session. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Mahmood. Toastmaster Sir, would you like to second it?
Yes, Mr. President, I second the motion.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Colin, you've noted it down. Thank you very much. And with this, the business session comes to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, we all are human beings, also known as social animals. We are the beings that cannot survive without having social interactions, be it with our own family members, friends, colleagues, anyone. But we need someone to talk to. We need to share our thoughts with someone. Anything that is going on in our mind, we need to share it with someone. Or perhaps just sharing how our day was after getting back home, or someone approaching us for counsel or for help. Now, have you ever imagined that our interaction with people around us can have a huge influence on them or their influence on us? So it makes it really important that whatever we have to say or the thoughts that we have in our mind, they need to be structured properly. Because whatever you are going to say and the way you're going to deliver that message to the listener can have various kind of impacts. If I am that person who's delivering a speech, it depends on the recipient, the way the message is going to be grasped and perceived. So it falls upon us as a speaker as well to make sure that whatever we're talking about is rightfully placed for the receiver to grasp it and understand it well, so the right influence can be put upon that person. Because you never know whatever you're saying, perhaps in a very normal, friendly chat, and how it's being perceived by the other person, and what is he going to take out of it and start working on it by himself or herself. And as such, back in 1928, California, Dr. Ralsei Smedley understood that there are people who need a platform where they can practice that skill to structure their thoughts before delivering their speeches or whatever they have to talk to. So he came up with this idea of creating the Toastmaster International Platform. And now millions of people around the world are being benefited by this platform. And you all, ladies and gentlemen, are being part and witnessing this in action firsthand, that how it goes in the world of Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, we just have to make sure that whatever we're doing, we have the right impact and influence on these people. So let's make sure that whatever we do have the right influence on us and the people around us. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a session that we have been waiting for since the meeting started. I would like to hand over the stage to our VP membership, Toastmaster Suhail, to please start inducting our new members. Toastmaster Suhail, the virtual stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening. I'm believed and privileged to induct Mr. Ala and Ms. Subia, our new members, into the Best Toastmasters Club. This is an important occasion both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leaderships. And we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. I took the consent from the existing members, and however, if anybody has any consent, please raise it now. Going once, going twice, okay. I will now call our new member, Mr. Ala and Ms. Sobia, to please switch on their cameras and unmute themselves. Please, members, withhold your applause until the ceremony is completed. Mr. Ala and Ms. Sobia, you are joining a worldwide organization that has helped more than 4 million people learn to communicate more effectively. As members of the Best Toastmaster Club, you will benefit from proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to helping one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Can I ask Ms. Vice President Education that who have been assigned as their mentors?
Yes, I will. I'm glad to help her and be her mentor. Yes.
Yes, so I believe we have Dr. Thuraiya and VP Education yourself to help our new members.
Yes.
Would this Toastmasters, Mr. Dr. Thuraiya and VP Education, would you please turn on your camera and unmute yourself? As experienced Toastmaster, you have been asked to help these new members to get off to a good start. Do you accept this responsibility and pledge to share your knowledge and experience with our new members so that they can immediately begin to benefit from their Toastmasters membership? Mentors. Would you please respond, mentors?
Yes, I accept to support our new member in his journey or her journey with us. Back to you.
Thank you. Membership in this club and in Toastmaster International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yet it also places certain obligation upon you to the new members. We are a group of people brought together to do things we could not accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and share to knowledge and experience with fellow Toastmasters in a spirit of enjoyment. This means you must diligently towards your self-development, evaluate other speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. Assist the club in reaching its goal, remain positive, and keep a smile on your face. Now I ask our new members to dedicate yourself to personal growth, to share this great gift with your fellow members and help keep this Toastmaster Club strong and dynamic. Now, please, new members, would you please, I hope your camera is on and you are unmute. Please repeat myself. I, Mr. Ala and Ms. Subia.
I.
Yeah, in the okay, I'm repeating again. I. In the presence of my fellow members of the best Toastmaster Club.
In the presence of my fellow, what can you repeat it?
Members, yeah, in the presence of my fellow members of the best Toastmaster Club.
In the presence of my fellow members of the best Toastmaster Club.
Make this obligation.
Make this obligation.
To attend meetings.
To attend meetings.
Regularly.
Regularly.
And prepare fully.
And prepare fully.
For each assignment.
For each assignment.
To apply myself.
To apply myself.
To the projects.
To the projects.
Outlined in the Toastmasters.
Outlined in the Toastmaster.
Education program.
Education program.
To participate actively in club activities.
To participate actively in the club activities.
To evaluate others in a positive.
To evaluate others in a positive manner.
Constructive manners, okay. To build open.
To build open.
Friendly relationship.
Friendly relationship.
With my fellow members.
With my fellow members.
And to bring others, new members.
And to bring other new members.
Into the club.
Into the club.
So that. They can also gain.
They can also gain.
The benefits of Toastmasters.
The benefits of Toastmaster International.
Yeah. Ms. Ala, would you like me to repeat it, or I believe it's clear for you? Oh, I hope.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now I would like to our existing members to please unmute themselves and take a place.
Mr. VP membership, before you proceed, can you please clarify who is a mentor for who? Because I believe members are not sure of that. So if you can please clarify once again and take the consent of the mentors on that.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Jahangir. For Mr. Ala, it's DTM Thuraiya.
Yeah.
No, sorry, let me correct it. For okay, for Mr. Ala is VP Education, Ms. Roya Adil, and for Ms. Sobia is Dr. Thuraiya.
Okay.
I hope it is clear now. Shall I go ahead?
Yes.
Yes.
Here. Thank you.
I would ask all the existing members to please unmute themselves and turn on their camera, and please repeat after me. We, the member of the best club.
We, the members of the Toastmasters Club.
Toastmasters Club, pledge to support in.
Pledge to support
Club.
In your quest for self-development.
In your
quest for self-development.
To provide you with positive.
provide you
Provide you
positive,
helpful evaluations,
Helpful
helpful
evaluation
evaluation
to maintain a friendly, supportive atmosphere,
to
maintain a positive and
supportive
supportive
atmosphere,
atmosphere,
to give
evaluation
you opportunities to help others,
to give you
give
opportunity
you
opportunity
opportunity
to
help
help
others,
others,
others
and to make your Toastmaster membership
and
and
to
to
make your
make your
Toastmasters
Toastmasters
membership
membership
rewarding and fulfilling experience.
a rewarding and
rewarding and
fulfilling
fulfilling
experience.
experience.
Thank you. Could you please welcome all the new members?
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Suhail, for conducting this ceremony such gracefully. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to move on with our today's session, and now comes the part of what Toastmasters is known of. Speeches and valuation comes the part of education form. So please welcome on board a person who will be taking us through this journey. I'm really happy to have him here with us and who will be taking us through this journey, who will be our captain of the ship, making sure that we pass it through all the way smoothly and seamlessly with no issues and no troubles. The enthusiastic, the charismatic, Toastmaster Mahmoud to take over. Toastmaster Mahmoud, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Septain. Thank you for your warm welcome, and especially more and foremost, I welcome everyone to today's meeting 174. And today, as he mentioned, I'll be the captain of the ship and taking you to higher levels. Today's meeting, wow, when it came to brainstorming the idea and when it came to properly managing it, of course, it was an open discussion. When I remember when I spoke on the phone with DTM Jahangir and I was giving him my ideas, he told me speak about anything that comes into your mind. And I've looked at the agenda, therefore I can just have a couple of ideas. Therefore, I can just relate to it. And I came to know that we have many speakers today. And of course, this is something very fundamental that we don't necessarily have. I recall that a couple of weeks back when I was doing my level 3 or level 4 projects, we used to have the same atmosphere where we would have a list of speakers and just presenting and just getting the most amount of feedback which they could further develop themselves and lead to higher stakes. Of course, this also reminds me of opportunity, and opportunity at its finest. As humans and as human natures, it is vital. When we see the opportunity at our hands, the tip of our fingers, we want to utilize it. And I think this is an opportunity for each and every one to express themselves onto the main stage and show what they're about. Because I know each and every one of them, each and every person who's going to present their speeches, even this club, who has potential to shine and glow. And I know that with each speaker, they turn into diamond. I don't know if that made sense, but let's move on forth. Anyhow, so today in today's meeting, I would like to go and present the grammarian for today's meeting, which is going to be DTM Jahangir Khan. So DTM Jahangir Khan, may you please explain your role to the fellow members of today's meeting. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Master of the Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. This is DTM Jahangir Khan. My role as a grammarian is to pay attention to the good use of English language and provide constructive feedback for the improvements. At the end of the meeting, I'll be called once again by the general evaluator to present my report. Before that, I would like to introduce the word of the day. In a Toastmasters meeting, we have a grammarian's role who brings in a new word for every meeting so we can enhance and enrich our vocabulary. For this meeting, the word of the day is blithe. Blithe as an adjective, meaning very happy and cheerful. The usage of the word blithe, the smile on his face and the rosiness of his cheeks hinted that he was in a blithe mood. You are all encouraged to use the word of the day as frequent as you could in the meeting, and I would be counting how often it was used and by whom. Along with that, I'll be taking note of the grammatical errors if made by any speaker, and I will be suggesting the corrections towards the meeting when I will be called upon to do so. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Master of the Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM, Jahangir. Wow, that enthusiasm in you just speaks for itself. I hope it's going to be a brilliant meeting. I don't know if I said it correctly, but anyhow, moving on. So we're going to have, of course, with every meeting, we always have errors and human errors, which we have to further improve on. This is why we are in Toastmasters, and we have none other to further explain this role than the accountant himself, the man, the myth, and the president of our Toastmaster Best Club, Toastmaster Ali Subtain. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody on this virtual meeting. Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, for this amazing introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, this is yet again another important role in one of the Toastmasters meetings. Me, as the counter, I have a very important role to be very keen when it comes to listening to all the speakers and carefully look for those jargons that we normally use in order to fill up in our speeches, like ahs, ums, unnecessary pauses, and fillers that we normally use, like just how I did, like, or you know. Words like this is what I've been noticing down for each and every speaker. And by the end of the meeting, when called upon by the genuine evaluator, I will be representing my report to everybody, mentioning how much of the errors were made, and this could be done as a correction for your own benefit as well. When the physical meeting starts, ladies and gentlemen, you have to pay a penalty for it. And make sure that this happens. Thank you very much. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you so much, the president of our club, Ali Subtain. Yes, what you've said is really true. As we're reporting to the hybrid meetings, it's very crucial that we have to keep in mind of the ahs and ums of when presenting our speeches, because of course that really takes from our credibility and also from the time of our speeches. And of course, we are always here to learn and prosper. So every time we make a mistake, we always try to further improve on it and how we change negatives into positives. This is why we have Toastmasters. And for the last role player of today's meeting, of course, when it comes to speeches, of course, we would love each and everyone to present their speeches for an unlimited time. This is why we love Toastmasters and public speaking. And we have none other to record the timings of today's meeting. Is going to be none other than is it going to be DTM Thuraya or Dr. Thuraya, or is it going to be Ali? Oh, please excuse me. Yeah, so it's going to be none other than DTM Dr. Thuraya, who is going to be evaluating and marking the times for each and every member who is going to present. So please, DTM Dr. Thuraya, please further elaborate on your role for today's meeting. The stage is yours.
Time, as the Arabic saying that time, if you didn't manage it, it will cut you. And here, one of the skills we learn in Toastmasters Club is managing our time, especially when we are speaking. Today, fellow Toastmaster, Master of Ceremonies, and honorable guests, we have 5 speakers, 5 evaluators. 2 of our speakers will deliver their icebreaker speech, which is the allotted time is 4 to 6 minutes. So at 4 minutes, my background will change to green. At 5 minutes, my background will change to yellow. And at the end of the time, it will change, which is 6 minutes, it will change to red. For the speakers with speech timing from 5 to 7, the timing criteria will be as follows. At 5 minutes, it will turn to green. At 6, it will be yellow. And at the end of the time, which is 7 minutes, it will turn to red. All speakers will have 30 seconds grace period. For our individual speech evaluators, the allocated time is 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, the green light will switch to the green part will pop up at my virtual background. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the yellow, and at the end of the time, which is 3 minutes, you will see the red part. I wish all the speakers all the best, and I encourage them to pin the timer. So please don't forget to pin the timer so that you are on track with your time. Wish you all the best, and by that, back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Dr. Tharaya, for that wonderful explanation and further talking about and discussing about your role for today's meeting. Now, this is where the time comes. The prepared speeches. We have, as she mentioned, we have 5 prepared speeches. And of course, I know that each and every one of them is going to be far more exemplary and much more better than the other. And of course, we are here to learn and prosper. And I would like for the first speaker of today, which is going to be Toastmaster Eddie. And none other than his evaluator is going to be DTM Dr. Tharaya. But before I introduce Toastmaster Eddie, I would like DTM Dr. Tharaya to read the speaker's objectives for today's meeting. So, Dr. Tharaya.
Yeah, thank you, Master Ceremonies. There is a little change. So the evaluator for our first speaker will be Toastmaster Claire, and I will be the timer only.
Okay, sorry. Please excuse me. So, so anyhow, so the evaluator for our guest speaker for today will be none other than Toastmaster Claire. So before I hand on the virtual stage to Toastmaster Eddie, I would like Toastmaster Claire to read Toastmaster Eddie's speech objectives. So the floor is yours, Toastmaster Claire.
The purpose of Toastmasters Eddie's speech is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. It is a 4 to 6 minute, and the title of Toastmaster Eddie in Pathways Icebreaker is A Life of Constant Change. Back to you, Toastmaster Dayton.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Claire. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. After 4 years of absence, we are here to listen to his predominant speech. Please welcome on the stage. I want everyone to get their hands up and raise and clap for Toastmaster Eddie with the speech title, A Life of Constant. A Life of Constant by Toastmaster Eddie. The stage is yours, young man. You are on mute, Toastmaster Eddie.
Distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and a dear friend. I am in a habit of eating more what I'm supposed to. I think everyone can relate to this. Many of us, if not all, is in the habit of eating more. For example, even if you know so many things, you still want to eat more knowledge. You want to still to know more about so many things. And most often than not, this kind of habit of eating more is kind of in my life. Even if I feel full, I still have a habit of eating more snacks, usually in the evening. How about you? Are you in a habit of eating more? But because of this habit of eating more than what I can chew, exactly 10 years, 1 month, and 10 days ago, I made the biggest decision of my life that forever change the trajectory of my life. 2011, I decided to be part of a journey where a friend of mine, an owner of a school, asked me to be part of her team. And moving from South Mindanao of the Philippines to north of Mindanao, leaving my family behind, as well as my comfort zone. Many years came, and that in 2011, from that 2011, 10 years after, I made the second biggest decision of my life. And that is to move from the northern Mindanao part back to the southern Mindanao. Life is in a constant change, as they say. Lao Tzu once said, long time ago, that a journey of 1,000 miles starts from your first step. My first step in life, not just in eating, but getting more to this life, was done in a mindset of my life will continually change whether I like it or not. True. Whether I like to change or not, my life will change. Whether I choose to move way 10 years ago, or I will change 10 years today, 10 years from today, it doesn't matter. And so in my 10 years of journey from 2011 up to today, what did I learn? There are three things that I learned in these changing times from 2011 to 2021. First, my life in 2011 compared to today is that my life, my character has drastically changed. I was too immature looking back. The 10 years ago of my life was full of immaturity. I'm not saying that I'm a fully mature grown-up man, but what I'm saying is that comparing to that life, my life today is a better person. I have a better outlook and a better character and a better conditioning of my life. My belief systems in the past, my value systems in the past, my meta paradigms in the past were also different compared today. And that today is a better in changing. Number two, my opportunities were so different 10 years ago. Way back there, I could not see the difference between my day-to-day living and month-to-month living, and even years and years to living. But now I see it differently. The opportunities that came were far more different. The third change is my discipline. Way back when I was younger, I don't know what that word is all about. But all through the years when I moved from South Min to the Northern Mindanao, my life changed because my discipline to so many things also changed. Yes, I still eat more than what I could bear and what I'm able to chew, but my life since then was in a constant change. How about you? Is your life in a constant change? What are the things that changed your lifestyle? 10 years ago, are you still the same person? But as for me, I will still continue to eat the things that I love and the food that I eat. But mind you, your life and my life are still in a constant change. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eddie, for that wonderful speech. Indeed, of course, self-discipline really teaches us. And of course, no matter what we eat and no matter how much we do eat, of course, that mindset and also thinking into having a direct direction speaks for itself and of course, will take us to higher levels. As for the second speech for today's meeting, I would like to introduce to you Toastmaster Roya Adil. But before I do introduce her, I would like to introduce her evaluator for today's meeting, who's going to be none other than Toastmaster Mazhar. And Toastmaster Roya.
Master of the ceremonies, may I interject?
Yes.
Sorry, can we have 30 seconds of silence so that we can give our feedback to the speakers?
Please excuse me. Sorry, forgot that.
Thank you. Requesting the timer to please let us know when 30 seconds are over so we can forward.
time is finished, 30-second finish, so we can continue.
Perfect. Thank you so much, DTM Dr. Tharaya. Moving on to our second speech will be none other than Toastmaster Roya, and her evaluator will be none other than Toastmaster Mazhar. But before I call upon Toastmaster Roya, I would like from her evaluator, Toastmaster Mazhar, to read out the speaker's objectives of her meeting, or her speech. So, Toastmaster Mazhar.
Ms. Mazhar. Sorry, thank you, Toastmasters Mohammed. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
I would first like to begin by congratulating Toastmasters Roya after she has completed one of her pathways. She is actually beginning a new pathway today. So this speech is going to be an icebreaker for her new pathway. The speak objectives for any icebreaker is to introduce herself to the club and learn the basic structure of public speech. So that would be her speech objectives for this speech. With that, back to you, Master Simon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazhar. But before we start, I believe that DTM Jahangir Khan raised his hand. So DTM Jahangir, are you there?
We are good. We are good. Thank you.
So is it fine? No questions? Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, after many months without her presenting their speech, I can proudly say, and I can proudly welcome to the stage, the virtual stage, of course, after we meet in October, the none other than Toastmaster Roya Adil, which she's going to be presenting her Project 1 Level 1 in a new pathway, which is going to be Hello World. Hello World by Toastmaster Roya Adil. The stage is yours.
Am I audible? Good.
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. They say, if you don't challenge yourself, you will never realize what you can become. Thank you, Master of Ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, most honorable guests. Good evening. Ever since I can remember, I have always loved a challenge, like to try out different things. Not only that, I like to see where they could take me in the future. It's fun to wonder whether it would succeed and fly high, or whether it would take me and I fall flat on my face. So allow me to introduce myself as I challenge myself into this world of speaking, and as I attempt to break the ice once again. My name is Roya Adil, but I like to be called Vision, not only because it's the meaning of my name, but also I like to be or to consider myself as visionary. I am 30 years old. I was born and brought up in the Kingdom of Bahrain, and I am a teacher at An-Noor International School. It was in the evening of the 1st of December 1990 when a bundle of joy was gifted to my mom. She got her first daughter, and everyone in the family was overwhelmed and delighted about it because I was the first grandchild. Today, we are 5 sisters, and with me being the eldest. Unfortunately, I have no brothers. The interesting thing about us sisters that all our names initial begin with the letter R. Roya, Reem, Razan, Rawan, and Rawa. We love to be called the R Empire. Both my parents have their own business. Also, Since I'm the eldest, I have the responsibility of taking care of my 5 younger sisters. I am proud and delighted to say that I always fulfill my responsibility towards them. And I'm very happy to support, encourage them to reach their goals in any matter they can. Since I firmly believe in astrology and being born in December, that makes me a Sagittarius. I will use my star to describe my personality. That makes me optimistic, fun-loving, visionary, and realistic. So now, I have plenty of powerful challenges throughout my life. Let's just start with the most influential challenges. First, do you believe I was 130 kilograms? Yes, I have lost almost half of myself, and I'm proud, delighted about it. Second thing, do you believe that I was afraid, panic to stand in front of anyone to speak in public, presentations, projects in the university? And yes, I am standing in front of you all with the confidence and power. You know what was behind that? It's all about the word of speaking, Toastmasters. And the last, not the least, the thing that I am obsessed about, which is I became an athlete, from overweight to the strongest Bahraini woman in triathlon games. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end my speech with an advice. I want to challenge you all today to get out of your comfort zone. You have so many incredible potential on the inside. God has put gifts and talents in you that you probably don't know about it anything. Get out of the books, find new talents and practice them. It's only by practice that you will be perfect. And always be humble and thankful. Back to you, Master Sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roya. A blimful experience from a blimful person and a positive person. Your words cannot be further explained. And of course, indeed, we do have to get out of our comfort zone. Therefore, we can further utilize on our skills and see what God has put in for each and every person. And of course, this goes for me as well, especially for a person who has been in school and has always been in his comfort zone and has been doing the things on a daily basis. But rather, after going and heading to university, that's really changed because of Toastmasters. And I encourage each and every person to do the same. Moving on to our best stop time. And we are going to have our third speaker for today's speech session, which is going to be none other than Toastmaster Colin Lobel. And Colin Lobel, of course, in our club, without a shadow of a doubt, has been one of the most well-profounded speakers, and of course, is a leader by example. And I have none other than someone who will be his evaluator, who is even a speaker and also a leader by example, which is going to be DTM Kharam Salman, which I would like you please to further discuss about his speech objectives. And yes, please excuse me, Toastmaster DTM Jahangir, it's Colin Lobel, not Colin Lobo. Sorry, please excuse me. I always get it mixed all the time. So please, DTM Kharam Salman, the stage is yours.
I think Colin is used to it by now. You know, with your left, right, and center. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be an evaluator. to our dear Toastmaster Colin Lobo, who's delivering a very interesting speech, may I say. He is going for level 2, project 1 of engaging humor, and the title of his speech is Connect with Your Audience. He is basically doing a speech, and his objective is to connect with an unfamiliar audience with something new or something that the audience may not usually talk about. So it's unusual, and that is Colin's second name. And I wish him all the very best, and back to you.
Thank you, DTM Karam Salman, for that blendful and blunt explanation. And of course, I would like to hand on the floor to the man, the myth, the legend, the person who puts a smile on each and everyone's faces. And please welcome to this on the stage, Toastmaster Colin Lobo. Not Colin Lobo, Colin Lobo, with a speech title 21. 21 by Toastmaster Colin Lobo. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud, for that interesting introduction. Before I begin, I just want to be clear. Am I audible and am I visible?
Yes, you are visible, Toastmaster Colin.
All right, and I'm clearly audible, right? Perfect.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
All right, perfect. I was born on May 21st, 1993. And that is why I chose the title of my speech today, 21. I'm joking. That isn't why I chose the speech title 21. Growing up, in 28 years, I saw a range of TV shows from Wheel of Fortune to Jeopardy to Oprah Winfrey saying, "You're getting a car, you're getting a car, everyone's getting a car." But one show really stood out from all the other shows. It was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And that really stood out to me. I would watch contestants from different backgrounds coming in and answering tough questions, all in the pursuit of becoming a millionaire. So I'm asking you a question here today, and be a little lively, and you can open up your virtual mics. Who wants to be a millionaire? Come on, say it.
I want to be a millionaire.
Everyone wants to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Perfect. And just like Oprah Winfrey, I'm gonna say, you, Jahangir, you, Ali, you, Mahmoud, all of you are gonna be millionaires. But how? How do you become a millionaire? Any ideas, guys? Any ideas? Ladies and gentlemen, the new members as well. Do you have any ideas? How do you become a millionaire?
Have to have the correct mindset.
Correct mindset, absolutely, Mahmoud, spot on. Any other suggestions on how to become a millionaire? Maybe Jahangir, starting your own business?
A millionaire.
Yes, collect more and more lottery tickets.
Umar had one as well. Please go ahead, Umar.
Just focus on how to get money from others.
Perfect. So,
As of now, hello, can I speak?
Please go ahead. Please go.
Yeah, join the Bitcoin wagon as for now.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Well, thank you very much. These are great answers. These are great suggestions. I recently stumbled upon an absolutely great book, 21 Secrets of Becoming a Self-Made Millionaire. 21 Secrets of Becoming a Self-Made Millionaire. That is why the title 21. And what does self-made mean? Self-made means your mama and your papa did not give you the money, that you made the money yourself. And what are the tips and tricks to becoming a self-made millionaire? The book by Brian Tracy is 21 chapters of 80 pages. It's a 1-hour audiobook that will change the way you view your life. And it has some of these general principles which we all follow, being part of good families or being part of our lives and work experiences, like being honest with yourself and being honest with others. Then there is also the other aspect of being let's say, trying to remember your speech, but no, in terms of, there are different aspects which are general in nature as well, but some that really stand out, some that really change the way I perceive things are these. There are three things that really stood out. Number one, always see yourself as self-employed. Always see yourself as self-employed. A few years ago, I was looking for a job. And I remember going to some networking events and where I'd introduce myself to people, and certain individuals are very supportive. And I'm grateful to God for meeting the right people at the right time. And certain individuals, when I'd go and meet them, we'd have a great connection. We'd have a great conversation, and boom, right at the end of our conversation, so where do you work? And that it was so taboo to say, I'm looking for a job. There was an instance when I met the CEO of a company and we had a great conversation. He pulled out his business card and he says, oh, where do you work? And I said, no, I'm looking for a job. And he put it back in his wallet. I felt very small, but in reality, when you go through life, always see yourself as self-employed. Why? Because when you see yourself as self-employed, you have the entrepreneur mentality. You have the mentality of being a self-starter, that you can always determine the value of your services and always strive to improve it. Number two, get around the right people. Get around the right people. 5 years from now, you will be the same person except the people that you meet and the books that you read. You will be the same person except the people that you meet and the books that you read. In life, the author Brian Tracy says, 85% of your success is not attributed to your hard work, to you giving great icebreaker speeches. No, it is attributed to you being surrounded by the right people. And if you introspect in your life for a moment, without this speaker screaming it into your ears, some of your best decisions, some of the best things in your life, and some of the worst things in your life have happened as a result of being with the right people at the right time or with the wrong people at the wrong time. So surround yourself with the right people as best as you can, like joining a Toastmasters club, like some of the guests here today. Number three, pass the persistence test. The Greek philosopher Epictetus said, circumstances do not make the man, it simply reveals him to himself. When circumstances present them in such a way that is unfavorable, you must prepare yourself in such a way that you can accept failure or success, but you must persist in either way. 3 lessons I learned: see yourself as self-employed. Number two is get around the right people. And number 3, the persistence test. In the end, the battle will be an uphill battle. Being a millionaire is not going to be an easy journey. But if you read the 21 Secrets of Being a Self-Made Millionaire, it's 1 hour. I strongly recommend you read it after this meeting or any time after that. And you see yourself as self-employed. You get around the right people and you pass the persistence test, you will definitely see yourself being a millionaire. With that said, over to you, our newest millionaire, Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Colin. Indeed, of course, everyone's a millionaire. And of course, from the sound of your voice and from the things that you've said, of course, you'll also be a well-propounded millionaire. So kudos to you. And it was a blith experience to hear your predominant speech. So moving on to our, let's say, 4th speaker of today, which is going to be none other than Toastmaster Abdurrahman Janahi. And he will be presenting his project 1 level 3. But before I further go into it, I would like his speech evaluator, who's going to be Toastmaster Suhail Sheikh, to further go into depth on what the criteria of his speech should cover. So Toastmaster Suhail, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Master of the Ceremony. My speaker, TM Abdul Rahman, is delivering his Level 3 Project 1 from Pathway Effective Coaching. The title of his speech is Better Life. The objective of his speech is to practice delivering social speeches in front of his club members. I wish him all the very best. Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmasters Suhail, for further elaborating on his speech objectives. And I would like to welcome onto the stage the man, the myth, who is going to be presenting his Level 3 Project 1. I know I've been saying the man and myth for the 30th time, and I know everyone got bored of it. But anyhow, let's move on to the fourth speaker, who is going to be none other than Toastmaster Abdurrahman Al-Janahi with a speech title, Better Life. Better Life by Toastmaster Abdurrahman Janahi. I have a feeling that this is going to be a well-profounded and a blitz experience. The stage is yours, young man.
Thank you, our MC, Toastmaster Mahmoud. 1,000 of miles journey start with a single step. Follow Toastmaster and guest. Hi, everybody. This is a great day for our club. There is 2 stars joining our club, best club, and they took a good step in their life. Our club is the best, and there is too many clubs even in Bahrain. But here you will see the different day by the day. In pandemic period, a lot of people they look the life at it is dark. And a lot of people, they thought the life will be end. Some of people, they sold their real estate shares, they stop learning, and they do bad things. But you just start your journey and the education and the developing yourself and a lot of successful things. As our club president, he mentioned that the Toastmaster journey started from 1924 in USA. And our Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, he just started with a beautiful idea. And as you can mention, idea that started in 1924 and until now, it is in life. You can imagine the strength of this program. And I am sure a lot of people, they come to the Toastmaster, and when they go out, they are better than the before. Just I have a few advice to our new members. First of all, just be yourself. If the other Toastmaster member reach their goals, that means you can reach your goal. If other members or other Toastmaster became a champions, that means you can be a champions not only in our district, you can be a champions in all the world. Number 2, just be positive. And when I am saying positive, just in every point, just think it on other side and see what is the positive in that. And take all that like a challenge for you. The number 3, I think, just put for you a plan. And when you put for you a plan, you will put for you the target that you want to reach at the end of the journey. And don't forget to put a timeline that what I will do in the first month and after like the quarter and at the mid of the years, and even what will I reach it, and just try to evaluate yourself every period so you will be better. The 4 things I want to tell you, just change your behavior. Try to see a useful YouTube. Try to read article, books. Try even to join a useful group like reading group, development group, or anything. The 5th things I want to tell you, never stop. You will find a lot of challenges in that step, in this journey. but don't even think on leave that Toastmaster journey. At the end, our best club include too many of the champions and the special Toastmaster. Our Toastmasters are very, very great. You will see like Toastmaster, Toastmaster Jahangir, all of them, they are a decision maker in our club, and even there are champions. Even you can see DTM Khurram, he was the president of the District 20, and he have a lot of experience, and you can share with them and learn from him a lot. Just thinking yourself, you can reach what other reach, and you are very good person that you join to the Toastmaster Club. You will have a lot of things. There will be a good family. To you, our MC Toastmaster Mahmoud.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdurrahman Janahi. That was a well-propounded speech. And of course, for our new and up-and-coming members, it's very vital that we should get out of our comfort zone and also reach to higher levels. And of course, and also as well to further improve on ourselves and also know further and what are ways that we can self-develop and take us to higher levels. Before I go into the final speaker, I would like a 30 seconds of silence for the speaker for any comments, and you can leave his comments in the chat box in private. And so timer, please let me know when the 30 seconds is done.
Master of Ceremony, I have something to say.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there is just a minute. Yeah, there is a change in the agenda, which is the evaluator for Toastmaster Rowan Lobo. It will be, who will be the Toastmaster? Yeah.
It will be me.
Yeah, Mahmoud. Yes, you will be.
Yes.
Yes.
And I inform the speaker.
Okay. So you will be the evaluator. And yeah, thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Okay, so the 30 seconds is done. Thank you, DTM Dr. Tharaya. And I would like to move on to the final speaker for today's meeting, which is going to be none other than Toastmaster Rowan Lobel, and with his evaluator, which is me, who I'll be reading out his speech objectives. But before I do that, I need to further elaborate on what speech and what level is he doing. So my speaker for today, none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the person who is going to shock everyone today in today's meeting, Toastmaster Rowan Lobel, will be conducting his project level 4 speech, which is going to be dynamic leadership. And the purpose of his project is to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. And of course, he has to develop a 5 to 7 minute speech on a topic which is unfamiliar to the majority of the audience. And because you delivered the speech in the Toastmasters Club, you're familiar with the audience members, preferences, and personalities. So of course, I wish my speaker all the best. And with the speech title, money. That's the word that everybody likes, money. Toastmaster Rowan, the stage is yours. With the speech title, money, the stage is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Just one point of correction. Level 3 would be my project speech for today. Level 3, speech 3. So it won't be level 4, it's level 3. Just to clarify.
Yeah, please excuse me. Sure, noted it down.
Sure. Thank you, Mahmoud, for the introduction. Can everyone hear me? Perfect. Okay, I've pinned the timer and I'm good to go.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I can see the timer. So let me know if I can go ahead and I will stop.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead, please.
How many of us over here want to be rich? I'm sure all of us over here want to be rich. Unless there are those individuals among us that have so much that they don't know what to do with it. But that is a rarity. So let's leave that aside. Warren Buffett speaks about
2 rules when it comes to money. Rule number 1, don't lose your money. Rule number 2, do not forget rule number 1. Now, it might seem so simple for all of us to manage money. What's the big deal? I'm not going to lose my money. But then put that in with human nature, and you get a whole different ball game. You know, when I read about these wealthy individuals, they treat making, keeping, investing money as a game. All we have to do is look at our own saving habits, our own investing habits, or let me take it a step further. What we need to do is look at all the individuals in the past, and there are a lot of them, famous, rich, bankrupt. Learn what they did wrong. And that starts my first story for today. Ulysses Grant. I'm sure most of you have not heard of him. I did not as well, until I read this story about the 18th president of the United States of America. He won 2 terms, was very close to President Lincoln, won countless civil wars, was a strategist. No one could beat him in the field of war. And in those times, in the late 1800s, when he finished his presidency, he didn't have much money. So there came a list of donors, well-wishers, who collected $250,000 for him and arranged for him to have a house in New York City, a house that cost $100,000. Now, in those times, $250,000 is equivalent to today's millions. And that would have been enough for Ulysses Grant to live a life of comfort with his wife and children. But what does he do? He takes it a step further. He ties up with a person by the name Ferdinand Ward. Like most of us today, we earn a lot of money. But when it comes to making business decisions, partnership decisions, or even investing our money, how much research do we do? We take years to earn it, but just a few seconds to make our decisions on our well-earned money. And so Ulysses Grant, this great man, sets up a partnership with Ferdinand Ward, who was nothing but a con man. He used Ward's name, he used Grant's name to his advantage to get investors, built a pyramid scheme, lost all the money. And this very same Ulysses Grant went bankrupt because he put his trust, he put his faith, he put all his money on someone where he did not do any due diligence. At the end of it, he was worth only, he and his wife was worth only $210. And in his end stages, suffering from throat cancer, he said to himself, I don't think I can trust another person in this world again. Wow, powerful words. An ex-president saying, I cannot trust another person in this world. The good news is that he said, I need to provide for my family. I need to provide for my wife. I need to provide for my kids. So he started writing a memoir and completed that memoir just 1 week before he passes away. Fate, F-A-T-E, might have it. That memoir comes a huge critical success. His wife gets $500,000, equivalent to approximately 13 million in today's time. But what do we learn from Ulysses Grant? We learn, let's not go for the get quick, rich schemes. Let's do our very own due diligence, because handling money is not that simple. Let me take you to another story. Mr. Rajat Gupta, ex-CEO of McKinsey, served on the board of Goldman Sachs, was worth $100 million. Now let me do some quick math for you. $100 million at the rate of 5% per year would have ensured Mr. Rajat Gupta made $600 per hour for the rest of his life. But what does he do? He starts mixing with the billionaires and he says, I'm a millionaire now, I want to be a billionaire. So greed sets in. He starts insider trading. He gets caught, he gets convicted, he loses it, gets put in jail, and today is released from jail but lives a life of obscurity. Greed. Very simple, 2 rules Warren Buffett gave us. But look how tough for 2 great individuals to follow those 2 simple rules like most of us. I hope with these 2 stories, I was able to paint a picture for all of you. Because I'm sure all of you know individuals in your own lives who amassed a lot of money only to lose it all. Money is not everything in our lives. That I'm sure we all agree. But let's understand that it's a very important part of our life. And let's make sure we maintain it and we grow it, not with these quick rich schemes, but with our research, our due diligence, because we need it for our present and we need it for our years to come. Back to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster, the Loban brothers, Toastmaster Rowan Lobel, for that well-propounded speech. Indeed, Warren Buffett's words were very simple, and it's unfortunate that we, especially me, when it comes to me, that it's quite tough of us as human beings to manage it and also to maintain it and also for it to grow. And we've seen many people in the past which have used that money and had that abundant amount of power, and due to poor time management or even poor financial statuses and management, that just went and blushed away. So it's really crucial that we should utilize our money in order to get the maximum results and lead to higher success. Before I move on to the second session, I would like to give 30 seconds to anyone, if they have any comments, that they can raise it to the chat box to Toastmaster Rowan Lobel. And of course, DTM Jahangir, you have been raising your hand.
Master of the ceremonies, with the permission of the Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, with the permission of Mr. President, I believe we are good in time. If we can have 5 minutes of break before we head to the evaluation, so we can stretch up, have a glass of water and come back. If the president believes we can, because
I
we are
agree.
good in
I
time.
agree.
I think it would be, that is a really good option. I believe if we can get a poll from each and every person, therefore it can be fair. We can get we can get their consent. So like, for example, with me, like I'm totally okay with it. How about the other members?
No, we can go ahead. Mr. President can announce.
Let's just have a 5 minutes break and we'll be back.
Sure. Okay, fine.
I'm requesting our timer to just let us know when 5 minutes are over so we can just resume.
Sure, no worries.
Thank you.
A reminder to everyone to quickly get up, drink water, stretch. You've been sitting for about an hour and a half now. Move yourself.
May I know from what district is Bahrain Toastmasters Club?
It's the District 20, Toastmaster Claire?
District 20?
Yes.
Okay.
It consists of 2 countries, Bahrain and Kuwait.
Okay, I will note on that because I will also share it with my fellow members
Right. Okay, that's
and
great.
other in the club and other members outside our club or in our district. For because I am fond of club hopping and I encourage everyone, like my fellow Toastmaster who just delivered tonight or afternoon in your time because he could not deliver in our time zone club schedule. So therefore I find a way to let him deliver in any club.
Just to add on to that,
Yeah,
District 20 is,
yeah.
sorry, I was just adding, District 20 is actually now 4 countries. We just got Iraq and Egypt added from July onwards, which is not news to all of you because there's only 2 or 3 clubs. And that's something that will take some time getting used to. But Bahrain, Kuwait, Iraq, and Egypt now. It is quite interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, and Toastmaster Claire, yeah, it's really this what happened. I mean, it was unfortunate to have COVID-19, but the good opportunity which came out, the good things which came out of this situation that we managed to meet. I mean, as a Toastmasters, we managed to connect with other Toastmasters clubs all over the place. And this is what the majority, I could say, that of our fellow Toastmasters, I mean, not only here in Bahrain, everywhere they are just moving from one club and another and living this beauty of Toastmaster, a different, a different atmosphere, meeting different peoples from all over the place. This is really a great opportunity for all of us to learn before we go to Norway. I think even after that, we
Thank you,
will
Toastmaster Claire, for accepting. Actually, I posted on the Toastmasters platform, and she was one of the first person who accepted to be the evaluator. Along with that, she brought in an excellent speaker. It was an honor to listen to Addie after 4 years. That was a wonderful speech. Good to be back. She was really pushing to bring you back. She really wanted you to experience and get back on track. I'm sure we provided that push, and inshallah, we look forward to hear more and more speeches of him. Thank you for coming.
FYI, Eddie Jangir just said, Inshallah. Inshallah means God willing. That's something that we say here in the Arab world. It's like everything that will happen is like, Inshallah.
I am also in a place where most of my colleagues and friends are in the faith with Allah. So somehow I am happy to meet with people like you.
Well, thank you, Claire. Appreciate that.
So, Mr. President, the 5 minutes break finish elapsed. So back to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Mama Best, for letting us know. Master of the ceremonies, please take it away.
Thank you so much, President of our club. And thank you for all of the speakers who have contributed in this learning session. And I think it's very crucial that we have these sessions. Therefore, we can learn and develop from ourselves and take off from other people's knowledge and how can we turn them and how can we further enhance them and further develop them. So from each speech, I congratulate each and every person for completing their project, and I wish nothing more than success and prosperity in their life and success moving forward. Moving on to the evaluation session, which will be conducted by Toastmaster Umar Makhtar. And I would like to hand over the floor to Toastmaster Umar Makhtar in order to conduct the general evaluation session. So the floor is yours, Toastmaster Umar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am General Evaluator for today's meeting, and my role is to evaluate the meeting from the start till the end. Also presenting my members to speak on the speeches and evaluate them in their own words. To start that, before I would like to call our timer of today's meeting, Toastmaster DTM, Dr. Soraya, if she can give us the timing of speakers.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmaster, honorable guest, the timing report for the timer report for the speakers is as follows. Toastmaster 80 speech took 5 minutes 37. Second, Toastmaster Roya, 5 minutes 49, 5 minutes 49 seconds. And Toastmaster Colin, 7 minutes 36 seconds. Toastmaster Abdulrahman, 4 minutes 51 seconds. Toastmaster Robin, 7 minutes 21 seconds. We have two disqualification, I believe, Toastmaster Colin, because he is overtime, and Toastmaster Abdulrahman, I'm not sure, I need to check with Khurram because he is 4:51. We have the plus minus 50 seconds,
He's okay.
right?
He's okay. Yeah,
so,
correct. So
and what
4:30
about
about
Colin?
he's okay.
And
Colin
what
is
about,
unfortunately 6 seconds over.
right, so we have 4 speakers qualified and Toastmaster Colin overtime by a few seconds. By that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Traya. Let's head to our evaluation, and after that I'll give my response on the speeches. So for our first speaker,
Can I, oh no, so, sorry.
yes, okay. For our first speaker, guest Toastmaster Addy, the evaluator is DTM Dr. Taraya. So if she can proceed with the evaluation.
Yeah, Mr. General Evaluators, there has been a change at the beginning of the meeting. So General, the evaluator for Toastmaster ED will be Toastmaster Claire.
Sorry, I was a little bit out of the way. Okay, can I ask Toastmaster Claire to evaluate Toastmaster Addy?
Good evening, good afternoon, good day, good morning, whatever, wherever you are. A hypermanic day to everyone. Indeed, another Toastmaster deliver arose from and risen from the dead. Dead means being hiatus for 4 years. And just the trivia, Toastmaster Eddie was one of the person who evaluated me. And I could always remember him for being the first one to let me repeat my speech. The first ever evaluator who put me down or let me deliver my speech again. But because of that, I was inspired to do more, to excel. And just right now, being a seasoned Toastmaster, delivering again another part of himself in Icebreaker makes me think, what could I evaluate in this person? And I noted that Toastmaster Eddie excelled in the gestures because there is a distance where we could see moving his hands, his body, showing us how we could be guided on his speech. There is a humor using a biscuit in his speech, and also another one is he used markings to let us know where we are as part of where he is as part of his speech. And for me, when I observe the way he spoke a while ago, he memorized and owned his speech as if he remembered it all. And what I only want him to work on is with his voice a little bit louder, as this will help him to be heard loud and clear. What is just my recommendations? You may want Toastmaster Eddie, you may want to use a microphone or a mouthpiece because this would make your speech more impactful. That way, for us listeners or your avid fans would love to hear and remember what you will say in front, because this is your first speech. You will introduce to us who you are, especially for the first timers who don't know you. But above all, congratulations. As you said a while ago, the journey with 1,000 steps begins with 1,000 miles rather begin with the first step by loud truth. And the secret of getting ahead is getting started by Mark Twain. And now you just started with Bahrain Toastmasters Club, or best. And congratulations, you may now move forward to another project in level 1. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Claire. Our second speaker was Toastmaster Roya Adel. I would like to call upon her individual evaluator to evaluate her speech. Toastmaster Mazhar, you can proceed on evaluating Toastmaster Roya Adel.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Well, the speech of my fellow Toastmasters Roya Adel, home world. Well, it began with a blithe. It began with a blithe mood, very happy because she has finally completed her first pathway and began an icebreaker today for her next pathway. The great things that happened in this speech was the speech had as its objective requires a proper opening, a proper body, and a proper conclusion. In her opening, she introduced herself, her background, her family, and how in this world she is placed or perceives herself. Then she came to the body, wherein she spoke about several of her journeys, a journey from a person of 130 kg to a triathlon athlete and an achiever at a national level. Then she spoke about her journey from a shy girl to a public speaking expert. This, along with using of the stage area. Unlike me, she had stage area, and we could see that during her speech, she moved from one part of the stage to the other. Then comes, while it is very difficult for me to identify areas of improvement for such a speaker who has already completed level 5 with one pathway, there's always room for improvement. In my humble opinion, she could have added a bit more of humor during her speech. And while she was using the stage appropriately, she could have also added a bit more of enthusiasm in her body language. Nevertheless, she concluded with a very important message for the speakers, for the audience, about exploring new and hidden talents, which was connected to the personal story that was presented in the body. With that, I wish her all the luck, all the best for her to succeed the same way she has in her previous path. Back to you, Jan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazhar. Further proceeding with our meeting, our third speaker was Toastmaster Colin Lobo, and his individual evaluator is DTM Khurram Salman. So can I have DTM Khurram Salman on screen?
Thank you, General
evaluation.
Evaluator, ladies and gentlemen, and my speaker, Toastmaster Colin in particular, who came in with a very engaging and catchy topic. Who wants to be a millionaire? Even though that was not his literal topic, that's what it surrounded, the speech was surrounded with as well. The topic was 21. And in the beginning, I thought maybe he's going to talk about 21, the movie in which they steal a casino to become millionaires as well, which could have been a nice relation over there as well. But such a blitzum speech, such a blitzum personality of the speaker. The speaker delivered today what we truly call an edutainment speech. It is entertainment, yet educative. And he combined both those elements in a very fashionable manner, bringing his usual energy on stage, his usual enthusiasm. And I loved how he connected with the audience throughout. We all know the Wheel of Fortune. We all know the Oprah's famous line of you getting whatever you're getting, and then going further with the main topic that he was actually talking about. So brilliantly well done. This is the engaging humor path, and he did engage us with humor as well. I particularly enjoyed the mamas and papas not giving you money part over there. So that is humor through which he connected with us throughout as well. Even when he forgot somewhere in the middle, he played it off very smooth. And that is a quality of a great speaker. I loved how he also slowed down on some points when he wanted to emphasize. So his voice was usually very high, full of energy, but to differentiate and emphasize on a point, he actually slowed down, let's dead straight in the camera, so we know that he's saying something important and we need to pay attention to it. And he filled his whole speech with not only the book that he was referring to, but also additional quotes to enhance his message further. So kudos to my speaker for a speech that was very well structured, delivered with enthusiasm, had edutainment value. I've got a couple of suggestions for our speaker. Speaker, of course, is an advanced level speaker. He's not a beginner as such. And I'll divide my suggestions that I have into 3 categories: the physical part, the content part, and for future challenges. So for physical part, I can see even now where the speaker is sitting, there's a certain type of flare that is being reflected in the mirror. And personally speaking, that was distracting to me because our speaker, while he was moving, the flare was coming in and out of view. Personally speaking, that was a bit distracting. I would advise our speaker to remove any distractions. Further 2 points, I do believe that the intro could have been a tad bit short because he did exceed the time. So I believe the intro to the point that he was trying to reach to, we could have gotten there earlier. And the suggestions that he gave could have been divided further into categories for us to digest them and remember them more clearly. For the future, I would love to know, how did it affect the speaker personally? Because out of all the points, the one that I remember the most is him being self-employed because he attached a story with it. And personal stories to that level are very important. And that is how you make speeches more memorable. All in all, a brilliant speech done. Take care of these points. Make sure physical is not distracting. Divide the speech properly and include personal stories. Our speaker is already a millionaire in terms of public speaking. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies. Or General Value.
Thank you, DTM from Salman. Our 4th speaker was Toastmaster Abdurrahman, and his individual evaluator is Toastmaster Sohail Sheikh. So Sohail Sheikh, can you present his evaluation for his speech?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay. What a believable speech. Better life. We all fight day and night to have a better life. You can achieve whatever you want. I can relate this quote from my own life. My speaker took my attention and I got involved into his speech with this quote. He shared the importance of taking the right decision in our life. Pandemic has knocked us, all of us, but there are people who took great decision by gaining more skills or completing their goals. He shared the advices like to be more positive, be positive, and challenge yourself. These are the traits we need to achieve impossible in life. In his conclusion, he mentioned about the importance of having the role models and how these role models can help us in fighting and achieving our goals. Overall, it was a great speech and it was delivered at the right time when we have 2 new members joining to our club. But I always believe there is always a room for greatness. I have some suggestion which I felt during his speech. First, that he was standing very close to the camera. I believe he can adjust this, and it will give a very nice interface to the people. Secondly, there was no movement in his speech. The movement will keep the audience engaged. Thirdly, I believe he can added more humor, some humor to his speech. Last but not the least, I felt when he shared the role models, the DTM and the role models of our club, I would appreciate if he would have added about his own journey, because he was talking about the new members who have recently joined, how this thing has helped him, and this thing would help the new members to achieve new goals in their life. Overall, it was a great speech, and if we add this suggestion, it will have a great impact. Overall, I wish him all the best, and if you can add about the camera angle, the movement, the humor part, and a self story, it will bring a great joy to his speech. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suhail Sheikh. Our last speaker of today's evening was Toastmaster Rowan Lobo, and his individual evaluator is Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi to evaluate Toastmaster Rowan Lobo.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I just need to pin the timer. Can I start?
Yes, go ahead.
Don't lose your money. That's what my speaker for today mentioned, which I can relate, especially from a person which loses his money day in and day out, puts it in one pocket and throws it at the other. My speaker presented a well-propounded speech, which met all of the objectives and got everybody into their feet. Which was very engaging about my speaker's speech is that he connected with the audience. When he came up and grabbed his focus and grabbed his face into the camera, which people got intrigued and wanted to listen more and more and more. And I gotta say, kudos to you. What I liked about also my speaker's speech is that he met with the objectives. With many speakers in today's era, they would simply read a speech but wouldn't meet with objectives. Bringing upon a topic which talks about money and millionaire brought everybody to their feet. And without a shadow of a doubt, my speaker met with his objectives. And of course, last but not least, when it came to movement, my speaker, Toastmaster Rowan Lobo, met the objectives by moving around and presenting himself and utilize the space to his advantage, rather than sitting on a desk and presenting his speech, which doesn't get everybody intrigued and getting everybody on their feet and wanting to listen to their speech. Of course, the only thing I would add with every good speaker comes errors. And of course, as human beings, we always are here to self-improve. This is what Toastmasters is about. And of course, it goes to each and every person. It doesn't go on to one person especially. Of course, we are here to learn. And of course, with my speaker for today, I know that he can reach to higher goals. And of course, a champion by his name. The only things that I would just add and have the twist and have the idea and the marking of a champion is that to have facial expressions. I realized when you come and of course presented your speech and walked in front of the camera, of course I would just recommend you having your facial expressions changing. Instead of walking in and just having a serious face, rather than approaching the camera and saying, who would like to be a millionaire? So we got people on their feet and people walking and thinking if they really want to be a millionaire. Of course, with Toastmasters, with my speaker, I know he's going to meet with his objectives, and I know he's going to reach to higher stages. I wish nothing more than prosperity and success, and good luck to your futures conducting speeches. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi. Before I start my evaluation on today's meeting, I would like to ask our timer for the timing of our evaluators. DTM, Dr. Thuraiya, if I can have timings for the evaluators.
Yeah, sure. Mr. General Evaluators, fellow Toastmaster, and honorable guests, the evaluation report is as follows. Toastmaster Eclair took 3 minutes 37 seconds. Toastmaster Muzahar 3 minutes 7 seconds. DTM Khurram 3 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Suhail 2 minutes 31 seconds, and Toastmaster Mahmoud 3 minutes 3 seconds. All qualified except Toastmaster Claire. She was over by 7 seconds. And I have the report for the whole meetings as well, if you allow me to say it. General
Go ahead,
evaluation.
Doctor.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead,
meeting
DTM.
started at 5 according to my watch. Presidential address took 2 minutes 45 seconds. Business session started at 5:15 and took 8 minutes 55 seconds. The induction ceremony took 8 minutes 20 seconds, and the introduction of the MC started at 5 at the time as 5 o'clock 37 seconds, 37 minutes, and the general evaluator took the place at 6 and 39 minutes. For the general evaluator, till now, you took 20 minutes, 30 seconds. By that, I send the control back to general evaluator. Back to you, general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Thuraiya, for the wonderful timing from the start till the end up till my time. I really appreciate your work, and we should have the whole team, the whole meeting timing criteria written on our boards, so we, whenever we have time to go through our previous meetings, we can know what time we were where, so we can focus on our future meetings and we can time them perfectly. Thank you, Dr. Thuraiya, for your timing. I would like to start from the beginning of our meeting. Our meeting starts perfect on time. The best thing today I like about our meeting today, the meeting started before the time and the guests were welcomed by members, and there was a get together in starting, which attracts my point to the meeting that we should be there before time so we get to know our guest. Further on, our Sergeant Arms Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi started meeting at 5, as punctual as he is. Congratulations on completing 5th level of your manual. Congratulations once again on getting triple crown. There are rare and many of other members, those who have achieved such awards in our this whole session. Further on, our president took control and he gave presidential address. Before that, he introduced all the members, all the guests, and they were properly welcomed. The meeting, the agenda was managed at the start of the meeting. There are usually backouts, and not in our most of the meetings, but in some meetings we do get backouts on last minute. Well done on making the agenda perfect at the meeting. One thing I would like to ask our president that before, for every session, we say what this session includes. For the benefit of the guests, if in future we can just say what the business session holds and what is it for. Just a 1 or 2 line. The business session is where we bring our old businesses or our what will be happening in Toastmasters International all around the world, and when is our such rules can be applied in the meeting. After that, the meeting was started, and the answer for the guest Wafa asked 3 questions. If we could have a little point of view for her at the meeting. So if there is anyone else, any other guest who have such questions, they can also get the point on the answers. But well done on referring it to Vice President membership, and I hope she can get her answer by now. We have inducted 2 members today. I welcome you both to our club, and I hope you will have a wonderful time with us, Toastmaster Allah and Toastmaster Sobia. The speakers from our first speaker, Toastmaster Eddie, the one thing I like about your speech was the last point of your speech. Your life and my life is a continuous, in a constant change. And we know that after having such meeting and speakers, listen to such speakers, our life is changing. Thanks to you. With this, I would like to have reports from grammarian Toastmaster DTM Jangir, if he can present his report.
General Evaluator, can I have the launch the poll for speakers and evaluator before
Yes,
having
go
the
ahead.
all players?
Yeah,
Because
go
this
ahead.
time I divided them, so I will launch, and if you don't mind, we will have all the members to vote for all, so we are not excluding anyone. So can you see the poll now?
Yes, doctor. I would request all the members and the guests to please fill the survey so we can head over to our meeting. Thank you, Dr. Soraya. I would like to proceed further.
Can we have 2 minutes, please? 1 minute at least.
Okay.
We're supposed to be having a poll, right? Is it launched already?
The poll is launched, and I think so. I have
think
filled it
if
out.
we are the co-hosts,
No, I'm looking at it from
Co-host
the
can
other
just see
device.
the percentage of.
even I can't see that, to be honest, from the other device.
Was there just one question? Was there just the best speaker question? Well, I clicked on the answer and suddenly vanished.
Something applied to me.
You go down, if you just
No. I just checked on the answer and then suddenly, whoop, it was gone.
DTM Soraya, can you
Can we relaunch it?
just relaunch it once again?
I doubt that because it's already launched and
it's launched.
I just got it now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay.
I don't think I see the answers.
Toastmaster Sobia, can you still see them, or
Yeah, I
just
can
vanished?
see them. I'll just click the first one and see whether it's still or not.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's working now. Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay. If we
And
all are done with the poll, so can we proceed?
the co-host, I will encourage the co-host to send the poll either, I mean, because they cannot use the poll. So if you can
Yes, I'm
send
doing
me
that.
your, your feedback to me, I mean, your
Dr. Can you
first,
also launch
second,
a
third.
separate for the role players?
So, Mr. President, can you see the result as well, or you cannot? Recording in progress.
Only
Yes,
the
I can.
co-host can see.
Right.
I'm not even because I believe I'm the co-host.
I can
Let
actually.
me-
I can see it. I can see the results here.
So, so Mr. President, you will take note of that, right?
Yes, yes, I can.
All right, okay. Right, and I think, Mr. General Evaluator, you can continue.
Okay, DTM. So may I have report from our grammarian of today's meeting, DTM Jangir Khan?
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening once again to one and all. But this time it's good evening and midnight in Philippines. So good morning over there.
Yeah.
Mr. General Evaluator, I'm really happy to say that I've been really impressed by the usage of the grammar in today's meeting. I have seen a good improvement among the members when it comes to the grammatical usage. There were some good phrases which I could catch. Time, if you don't manage, it will cut you. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. This phrase itself was used in different ways, but it has the same meaning. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. That's how it goes. If you don't challenge yourself, you will never know what you can become. 5 years from now, you will be the same person, except the books you read and the people you meet. Some beautiful phrases were used. Again, as I mentioned, the phrase which 1,000 of mile journey was used in a wrong way, but it had the same meaning. Looked at life like it will end, it was mentioned, but in a different way. The phrase could have been, in this pandemic, people looked at life like it would end. Better than before, that was one of the phrases. Apart from that, grammatically, the meeting went perfectly fine. The word of the day was used, according to my count, 7 times in total. It could have been, mostly it was used by our master of the ceremonies, which was 5 times. However, I would have liked if it was used more often in the meeting. I would encourage all the members of the club to use the word of the day, which is introduced by the grammarian in the upcoming meeting, so we could enhance our vocabulary and enrich as well. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Jangir Khan, for the wonderful evaluation on the full meeting. Now I would like to call upon our counter of today's meeting, Toastmaster Ali Saptain, to present
Thank
his
you,
report.
thank you very much, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening once again. Good morning in Philippines. Today it was quite a meeting. I must say that most of the speakers, they didn't give me much chance to note down, but let me just tell you how it went. Starting with myself, I had 1 and 1 Toastmaster Suhail had 3 R's. Toastmaster Mahmoud had 1 pause. Toastmaster Dr. DTM Thuraya had 3 R's. TM Eddie none. TM Roya none. Toastmaster Colin 1 pause. Toastmaster Abdurrahman none. Toastmaster Umar 3 R's. Toastmaster Mazhar 1 R and 1 repetition. DTM Khuram none, and Toastmaster Claire none. As far as my report goes, over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Saptain, for your report. With this, my job comes to an end, and I would like to give control back to Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Toastmaster Mahmoud Al-Mardi. You can proceed with the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar, for your general evaluator. Now it comes to the end of our meeting, which is the award ceremonies. So let me just share my screen.
Toastmaster Mahmoud, if I can just disturb you for a minute before you do that, can I have a group picture of all the members?
Sure,
Yes.
sure, no worries. Fine? Okay, fine, no worries. So do I have to remove, do I have to stop sharing my screen?
Yeah, you
Yes,
can.
yes, you would have to.
You would have to. Yeah, okay. I would like to ask all our members and guests if they can turn on their camera so we can have a. Okay. Are you all ready? 1, 2, and smile. Okay. I would like to have one more, just a minute. Sorry for being a little late. I would like to have a photo of you all in thumbs up so I can put that. Oh, wait.
Colin is doing on behalf of Rowan as well, I believe.
I think so, because I'm trying to fix the photo. So
I will do it. That's okay. Let's just take one. Look at the
Thank you.
camera. Smile. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, DTM Khurram Salman. We can proceed with the meeting.
Share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Toastmaster Mahmoud, have you received all the results yourself?
Yeah, I only received 2. It's just the evaluator and the best speaker.
Yeah, even I cannot see the role players results.
Because I
Dr.
have.
TJ, would you mind checking this out?
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
Dr. Thuraya,
trying
just wanted to
actually
ask.
to launch it. I have it. It just is not coming
Wait.
up. Yeah.
Can you see? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, let's quickly vote for the best role player so we can announce the results, all of them together.
Because to be honest, I haven't included it. I haven't included it in the.
You can announce it if you like to. It's all right. No problems.
Sure. So, let's see. Did everyone vote?
We are still voting for best role players, I believe. It's all right. It's all right, Toastmaster Mahmoud. We're about to end.
Yeah, man. What's got me so down? Those long sighs. It's like, now we're waiting. Okay.
Mahmoud, me and Dr. Thuraya were there with you as well in the morning, so it's fine.
A long day.
It's gonna take 20 minutes. That's fine.
Okay, I think I'm assuming that we're done with the best role players as well. Can you see the poll, Toastmaster Mahmoud?
I can see it in front of me. I can see it in front of
Do
me.
you have the result, right? So you can just announce it while presenting it.
Okay, so
Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Before we finish off this meeting, I would just like to announce the best role players and adjourn this meeting by announcing the awards. So the best role player of today's meeting is, can I have a drum roll, please? I'm just gonna do it on the table. Okay, I think I'm gonna break the table. Is none other than Mahmoud, me, Toastmaster of the day. So for everybody for voting, and that's me off the chart. So moving on to how do I just give me a second. Oops, wait, stop sharing. I think I'm not, just give me a second. Oops, I had to. Okay, so moving on. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So the best evaluator of today's meeting is none other than the man, the myth, the legend. But before I do announce it, can I have any guesses? Any type of guesses?
Radium Khurram. Radium Khurram.
Karam. What else? President of our club. Me? No, I don't think so. Probably maybe. Even fairy tales.
Maybe it's Dr. Thuraya.
Tedium Mazhar.
I think everybody's doing this. So let's just see who it is. So the best rule is actually DTM Salman. So congratulations to
you. Thank you.
And you've done an amazing job. And I just wish nothing more than success. And the final the event of the event, which is the best speaker of today's meeting is okay. I'll this time I'm just gonna have a good jumble, even though my table breaks. Is Colin Lobo. Congratulations, Colin. You've done an amazing job, and everyone enjoyed your speech. And I wish nothing more than success. So I would hand over my role to the president of the club, which is Toastmaster Ali Sabtin. Thank you everyone for attending. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for doing this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so glad to have you all with us. It was yet another amazing and successful meeting. We are almost on the dot when we're about to wrap up the meeting, but I would like to take this opportunity as well and ask our guests and perhaps the new joiners as well, if they would like to share like how the meeting was, like to share some feedback, some comments quickly in a span of a minute, perhaps. The stage is open.
I'd like to thank Ali with that. Is it okay to start?
Sure, please.
I'd like to thank Best for having me here and for allowing me to really just give my first speech after 4 years. And it's a wonderful, really wonderful experience to really just meet you guys here through Zoom. So, and wonderful meeting. I really like DTM Salman. I really like the way you speak and the way you evaluate. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words. We're so happy.
Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate that. I was trying to unmute myself. Thank you.
Can I speak?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, thank you all for having me. It was a wonderful experience joining, and I'm glad that I did that. And the evaluation was fairly done. I really enjoyed, I was seconding Mr. Khurram Salman's evaluation. It was nicely done. And same goes for Mr. Mazhar. They were on point and no biasness, no nothing at all. It was really nice. And I enjoyed the speeches of Mr. Colin as well as Mr. Rowan, the Lobo brothers, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And Mr. Mahmoud Al-Mardi was also very energetic, and it was very engaging to have his hosting done and all that stuff. So looking forward to it. Thank you for having me once again. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Sophia, for sharing your point of view. Anyone else would like to go ahead before I wrap it up? All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, this calls it up. We're going to take it as I'm calling it a night. Thank you so much for joining us for today's meeting. Our next meeting, again, is going to be virtually held on the stage of Zoom. It's going to be on 25th September 2021.